the comic PM.
What is up, besties, and happy Valentine's Day, or whenever you're seeing this, because it is a timeless reading. Today we are going to take a look at, with this pick a card, what you really deserve in love, what you should aim for, what Spirit wants for you, so that when you're looking for love, you'll be knowing what to look for and you won't settle, bestie, because you deserve the best. So if you haven't done a pick a card before, you don't have to be spiritual to do this. You just have to be able to trust your intuition. But I have 3 piles, all 3 wonderful, chef's kiss. I obviously got some great people watching my videos, but you guys deserve love. And so now this should hopefully, I set the intention, help you to kind of figure out what it is that you're going to look for moving forward. Also, you know, you might not be single. You might be in a relationship or a situationship. So, you know, maybe you're in a relationship and you're questioning it. Maybe it's not right. Or maybe, you know, you have trouble with communication. So this will just help you better understand what it is that you need. This is tailoring to your needs, what would make you feel fulfilled and happy. And so, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I enjoyed doing it very much in the season of love. And hey, to my single people, if you're seeing this on Valentine's Day, just because you're single doesn't mean you don't have to enjoy it. I bought myself my favorite food. I bought myself some Valentine's candy, and I'm going to watch a chick flick, and I'm going to be my own best date, because then we're showing the universe what it is we deserve, and we're going to know what it looks like because we model it to ourselves. That's the goal. But as always, you guys can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, where you'll be the first to know about future videos. All those links are down below. If you want to book a personal reading with me, same links down below. Thank you to everybody that sends me super thanks. I also have a virtual tip jar in the description down below. Do not feel obligated. Thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I'd love to have you guys here. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and definitely share your story in the comments below, because I love to read your comments. But without further ado, let's figure out what it is that you truly deserve in love. And let's get into it. All right, besties. So for this reading, you have 3 piles to choose from. Now, if you've never done a pick a card reading, that's totally okay. I'm going to walk you through this. So what I want you to do real quick is close your eyes, and we're going to do a breathing technique, which is just 4 in, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, and then you're going to open your eyes and pick a pile. So we're going to do this right now, okay? Ready? Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, release. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open your eyes and see which pile calls to you. No logic, just what you intuitively feel is right for you. Are you drawn to the Labradorite with the young man, the rose quartz with the dove, or the clear quartz with this blue dancing figure? Whichever pile you feel called to. If you have to rewind, do it again. Just make sure that you use your intuition and your heart over your logic, and I will see you guys at your pile. All right, pile 1. So you chose the Labradorite crystal. Now this reminds me of like not trusting your intuition, not really feeling like you can trust your own emotions, your own feelings when it comes to certain things. This may be my pile that's dealt with a lot of takers, a lot of people that might have gaslit you out of your own. Because I almost see someone like, and remember this is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. But maybe like you gone through a spouse's phone because you felt like something was up, but then they were like, how dare you go through my phone? You don't trust me, blah, blah, blah. This feels like a group that has had people gaslight them out of trusting their own intuition. So I kind of feel like for this pile, what you deserve is someone who's a better communicator. You deserve someone who's going to hear your insecurities and not call you irrational, not call you crazy, not say that you're too much and you're this and you're that. Basically, I feel like pile 1, you've dealt with a lot of projection. You've dealt with a lot of people that feel that they're small, and so they project onto you to make you feel small too. It's giving me the vibe of like the Emperor card. Like, yeah, I'm seeing the scene from Matilda where it's like, I'm right, you're wrong, I'm big, you're little. Basically like just pure gaslighting. I think you've dealt with a lot of people, maybe broken birds, I feel like you got a fixer energy. I'm hearing Fix You by Coldplay, where you might see the light in people, but that doesn't mean they're going to live up to it. And I think you've seen that time and time again, where you have this love. Like I'm seeing the little girl from Monsters Inc., where it's just like, Teddy, and she could see the good in this monster, but it's a kid's movie. The monster becomes a good person or a good monster, but that doesn't mean people will live up to their potential. And just because you see it doesn't mean that they're going to live up to it. So for this pile, you deserve someone who's already done the inner work. You deserve someone who can handle you and can stand at your level is what I'm hearing, that can meet you. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song, Can You Meet Me Halfway? I feel like you've had to beg for people to act right. I feel like, yeah, I'm hearing These Boys Ain't Shit in my, I'm hearing the song, These Boys Ain't Shit. So again, I feel like you've made excuses for people that didn't deserve you. You deserve to stay on your throne until someone can meet you where you're at. Someone who's done the inner work themselves. Someone that's not going to gaslight you and make you feel insecure because you've done the work. You don't need to prove yourself to anybody. So, all right, Spirit, what does pile 1 deserve in love? Yeah, you've dealt with people that have drained you dry. Okay. Back deck energy, Judgment, yeah. Okay, so for this pile, what I would say is, I feel like you might also have exes that like recirculate. Like you might be in like I'm seeing like the Wheel of Fortune in my mind's eye where it's like, if this person doesn't work, I'll go back to this person. I feel like you have a lot of exes that like come back around. You deserve to, 1, know your worth, but you deserve someone who doesn't take advantage of your vulnerability. Someone that doesn't drain you dry. Like, look at this Devil card. This girl looks like a shell of a person. People have taken from you for their own benefit. And because you see the light in everyone, it's given me like princesses, like Snow White and stuff like that. You have this innocence to you. You have this love. Like, look at how sweet this girl looks on the card. She has a lot to offer. She's the Ace of Coins. She's the new beginnings. And that's who you are. But with this 5 of Cups under the 7 of Wands, which is vulnerability, but it's also, it literally says lost courage. People have preyed on your inability to see yourself. Because I'm hearing the song, I See Your True Colors Shining Through. People see how much you're worth. They don't feel like they can get to that level, and so they want to keep you small. So you might have had guys or girls, depending on what you're into, that have like blocked you, rinse, wash, repeat, come back, called you the crazy one. And it's like, are you kidding me? And it's caused you a lot of grief, which is like, what's wrong with me? And then it's like, why can't I find the right person? Why am I always being treated like this? Am I broken? Am I wrong? Am I asking for too much? No, you were never asking for too much. You were asking for the wrong people. These people weren't capable of being on your wavelength. And so it's like, I'm going to play these mental mind games with you so that you don't see how incredible you are. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song, If You Are What You Say You Are, a superstar, then have no fear. These people preyed on your humbleness. And I want you to Google the word humble because it's actually not a compliment at all. It's basically kind of saying like, stay in your lane. You don't want to stay in your lane. You're a queen or a king, depending on what you resonate with. And you need to own that. And maybe in childhood, you were taught like, you need to be humble, or, you know, maybe you can't show skin because that's inappropriate, or you've just been kind of like died down. Like I'm noticing you might have dealt with like religious background pain that might have dealt with it with these prayer hands, but maybe now you're headed into a place of like spiritual awakening where you're starting to realize like you are allowed to love yourself. You are allowed to feel good about yourself. I'm seeing like Good as Hell by Lizzo, where it's like, I get my nails done and my hair did and I feel good and I don't give a fuck what you got to say. Put your projections on me all you want. I don't care. You need to step into a bad bitch energy or bad boy or whatever the hell because here's the thing. I think you're worried that you're going to lose your light, your essence, your kindness. You're like, if I have boundaries like that, maybe I'm going to be cold. Maybe I'm going to be harsh to people. But the reality is you're avoiding, with this Judgment card on the back deck, you're avoiding your ability to level up, is what I'm hearing from CR, level up. You are really strong. You're at a crossroads right now where you're like, I know what I want. I know what I deserve. But am I asking for too much? Am I being too much? Here's the thing, and I think some of you need to hear this. A narcissist will never ask themselves if they're a narcissist. They'll just project onto everybody else. You strike me as a type that's like, what am I doing wrong? How can I fix it? It's kind of reminding me of Virgo energy. Take it if it resonates, if you have Virgo placements. But it's just giving me the vibe of like, I want to grow. I want to build. I want to be the best version of myself. I want a hearty, loving connection. But because I've had so many people in my ear telling me who to be, like I'm being drawn to like all these little S's, but it kind of reminds me of like everybody telling you who you are. Like, look at how it's coming out of her head. It's like all these thoughts of all these people I've dated that have all of these opinions about me. But what do I feel about myself? You deserve to love yourself because you've already shown. It's like you're handing everybody the antidote of love because that's what you are. I don't know if you've seen a Tony Robbins documentary on Netflix, but this girl has been through so much shit and she's like, I've never seen love, but here she is giving out all the love that she's looking for. You are love. You are love. But you've dated a lot of broken birds that saw how much power you really have and how much love that you have to give. And because of that, it intimidated them. And so they had to keep you in a box. They had to make you feel small with that devil card. They had to make you feel like you were broken. You might have dealt with substance problems too, to kind of, because I'm being drawn to like the wine cup, all these cups here, and then the devil card is addiction. So you might have tried to numb it out because you didn't really want to deal with all of that. And you might be in this place now where you're like, will I ever find love? Like maybe I'm just broken. Maybe I'm not meant for love. But here's the thing. We live in a sick society. Not a lot of people do the work. And so if you're someone like you are, where you do the work, then it's going to take a little bit longer for you to find the right person for you because there's so many broken birds in the society that we have today. So it's not that that person's never coming. It's not that there isn't the right person for you. It's that the universe will test you is kind of what I'm hearing. It'll be like, oh, okay, you think you deserve the best? Let me throw you another broken bird. Are you going to say yes to that broken bird or are you going to choose yourself? So you, again, when you get hit on by some guy at like, or girl, whatever, I'm going to say guy and then if I slip up, just change it. But like, say you get hit on by some dude at a gas station. Like, do you really think that's supposed to be your love story, or do you think that's the universe testing you? It's more often the universe testing your boundaries, seeing if you mean what you say you mean. So this group really needs to embrace being alone and learning how to love yourself. I'm being drawn to tell you guys how, for instance, Valentine's Day, I bought myself my favorite candies. I'm buying a movie that I want to watch. I bought my favorite drink, my favorite dinner, and I'm going to treat myself because I'm going to be my spouse. That is the energy that you need to emanate, because once you see how to love yourself, then you're going to see it from a mile away. Someone that can't meet you at your level, that plays mind games, that gives you a lot of fantasies, a lot of illusions, but it's not backed by any substance. You're a giver. You deserve another giver. I think you've had people that came around, tried to, put on the charm, didn't work, probably blocked you, gaslit you, just gave you crumbs and then disappeared, came back. I think this group has dealt with a lot of immature people that just kind of tried to cycle through to see whatever works. Because I'm seeing like that bullseye where it's like I'm trying to throw something to the wall and see if it sticks. You've dealt with that for so long, so it's like, is it me? Am I the problem? But it's not you. It's that people see your worth. They don't know how to level up to it, and so you trigger people like that. And you think that it's kind of like, oh no, something's wrong with me then, especially with this Five of Cups. And then it's like, when will my union ever come? You require a high caliber level of person, and that's going to take a little bit longer to find. So do you want to settle for broken birds that suffocate you and turn you into the shell of a person, or do you want to start learning how to love yourself completely so that, I'm seeing someone like flicking a mosquito away. It's like, shoo fly, don't bother me. You're going to start to realize who's just talk and no action. And when you show the universe that you are what you need, then it's going to reverse back to you. You're going to start to notice that people are just randomly giving to you. Like, oh my God, I was in the store and this reminded me of you and I thought of you and I just bought it just because. You might have been a parentified child. You might have had parents that just didn't know how to give to you. And so you learned how to be the giver because you wanted to be what it was that you lacked and what you needed. But right now you need to give that to yourself so that you can show the universe that I'm not kidding around. I know that I'm the boss. I know I'm the queen bee, king bee, whatever. And stand firm in that so that the universe can bring you what it is that you really deserve. But in order to do that, you have to show the universe that every time Bob comes back with a new bullshit ruse, whatever, you're not going to do it. And when X number 3 comes around and he's like, but I've changed. Nope, next, block. Learn how to block, learn how to disconnect, change your phone number, change your appearance, new me, who this, and own it. Own being the bad guy, because I feel like you pride yourself in being a good person, and that's great. It's good to be a good person, and I could tell that you are. You have a really big heart. But at the same time, it's kind of like the empath lesson where people are going to flock to you because they feel that energy that they don't have within themselves, which is why you've had these people that just keep showing back up in your life, preying on your vulnerability. And the only person that's left scarred is you, because you give, and then you're like, I feel depleted. And then you're wondering why you're stuck on these people when you didn't even like them to begin with. But in reality, it's not that you're stuck on them. It's that you want that time back. You want that energy back. You wish that you didn't waste your time on these people. And I totally get that. I would recommend a cord cutting meditation. If you guys remind me in the comments, I'll try to link one of the ones that I've used. But if not, I do have a pick a card that says closure from your ex. This might also benefit you. Pile 1, you might want to watch that as well if there's some that you still have stuck in your head living rent free is what I'm hearing. Because notice how in this judgment card, she's wearing like 3 different necklaces. It's reminding me of like being stuck on multiple exes. So maybe you're rethinking about exes from the past, but it's not that you're in love with them. It's that they took all of your energy. They took all your time, and you want that back. And look at how on this side she looks all innocent, right? But in this side, she's empowered. She's got this badass tattoo. There's fire around her. I think that you've prided yourself in being like the girl next door, boy next door, and your innocence. But listen, yin yang, both energies can coexist. You can be a badass, but you can still be respectful, right? Like, have a lot of self-confidence and know your worth and not tolerate bullshit, but you can still be kind, because people that resonate with that energy, they'll understand that you're just loving yourself and pouring into yourself. And the more that you do that, the more you're going to see you're going to attract people that are just like you. But with this 2 of Swords right after, it's like you're afraid because you've been through a lot of shit, and you're just like, I don't want to be ignorant to what happened before. I don't want to make the same mistakes again. But look, the Moon reverse is right after that. You already know what to look for. You already know how they behave, but it's just that, again, you see the potential in people, but just because they have potential doesn't mean they're going to live up to it. You need to stop listening to words and start looking at actions. Is that person really listening to you when you're talking, or are they just like, how can you benefit me? Like, for instance, when you have a conversation with someone that you're getting to know, I bet you're the type of person that asks a lot of questions, and then they love to talk about themselves, but when it's time for them to ask questions, they probably don't ask you a lot, right? And then the conversation either kind of dies, or you bring the conversation back to life by being like, okay, so tell me about this, tell me about that. You deserve someone who's going to ask you questions. You deserve someone who, yeah, I'm hearing Rascal Flatts, I want to know about your mama, your daddy, your hometown. Show me around. You deserve someone who's going to want to know everything about you, who truly sees you for who you are. Not just your pretty outside, not just your caring heart. Someone who wants to know everything about you, the good, the bad. Someone that you can cry and they'll be, you know, not naive to emotional. They need emotional depth like you do. They need emotional intelligence like you do, so that when you have a bad day, they don't expect you to be on. They expect to, you know, I think you've dealt with a lot of 80-20. You need some 50-50, and you need someone who can show up as they be the 80 while you're in a 20. You know what I mean? I think you've dealt with a lot of people that have always been at 20 while you're always having to be at 80. And then when it's time for you to have a hard day, you probably don't rely on anyone because you've never had anybody that's worth relying on. You've dealt with a lot of people that just didn't know how to be what you need because, again, they were lacking. So they saw all the love you had to give. So now it's time for you to give that love to yourself. Be that boss that I know you can be, and you will attract in what it is that you give. But you have got to stop saying yes to people that you can clearly see has a lot to say, but not a lot to give. This is definitely a pile of like empaths that really want to be there for others, but it's at the expense of yourself. And it doesn't make you a bad person for being like, you know what, I am going to be picky. And this is my Ace of Pentacles. And yeah, I may have the option of Bob and Dave and Brad and Zach and whatever names you've ever dealt with. But at the end of the day, you need to realize that your pentacle, look at this big, shiny, beautiful pentacle. Only the best deserves that. Yeah, I'm hearing the song, Simply the Best, Better Than I've Ever Had. I can't think of her name because I'm channeling, which is sad because I listen to that song all the time. know your worth and own that, and don't, because you're going to trigger all these little boys or little girls that can't handle how you shine. But that'll be them telling on themselves. That's totally okay. Let them, because they'll fall away. They won't be able to handle you shining. And then that'll make room for the right type of people. I'm being called to call 3 more. Yeah, it's like you want the fairy tale. You want the white picket fence. You might want kids with this Page of Swords. Take it if it resonates. But you have all this love to give. Yeah, I'm hearing the song, but my love is all I have to give. Without you, I don't think I can live. But I feel like, again, people come back and they're like, oh, I need you, because they see that beautiful heart of yours. But that's not for everybody for the taking. Look at all of these cups trying to pull on this heart. Only one cup can survive. It's giving me like Bachelor, Bachelorette vibes. You know what I mean? Where like, let them work for you. It's not selfish for you to be picky. I think someone taught you to be humble, play small, be grateful for what you have. But if someone's not showing up the same way you are, then that's it. That's enough. I think you need to get comfortable with cutting people off. I think you need to get comfortable with blocking exes that might return, because I think you're the type that's just like, well, you know, maybe they've changed, or maybe I can at least be their friend. I don't want to be cold. I don't want to be, and I totally get it. I've been there, but they're not meant for the next part of your journey. Like, notice how there's this brilliance here. There's this brain with all of this color and all of these mathematical equations. You are selling yourself way too short, and you have so much to offer, and everybody's seeing it but you. And that's the problem. And the reason you're not seeing it is because everybody else that's seeing it but can't live up to it will gaslight you to knock you down a peg, so that you settle for this little Page of Swords, nothing to offer, all talk, no action. You require brilliance. You require someone who gives the way that you do. I think you need someone that's going to do like acts of service, someone that actually shows up for you, not just talk. I mean, listen, hearing words is great and it really helps, especially on your hard days. But, you know, if you're sick, they need to show up with chicken noodle soup, because you would do the same, wouldn't you? I want you, pile one, to make a list of what you would do for a spouse, you know, how you would show up if the man, woman of your dreams were to knock on your door tomorrow. And then I need you to embody that list, because the sooner you show yourself what unconditional true love looks like, the easier it'll be for you to like swat away the losers. No offense, but you know, they're not good enough for you. So I'm gonna root for you. And the sooner you'll start to see people trickle into your life that realize that you're not going to take scraps. And so they're going to start to give to you. Like I said, you might start to have friends that like just randomly be like, oh, I thought of you because I know you like butterflies, so I bought you this butterfly figurine. You need the type of person that's going to say your name in a room full of opportunities, instead of a person that's going to talk shit about you when you're not around. You know what I mean? I just keep being drawn to how this is a little boy. I think you've dealt with a lot of little boys that have been acting like grown men, but they're not, because they have the emotional maturity of a little kid. And so they've been projecting on you. You deserve someone with emotional intelligence. You deserve someone who's really good at communication. You deserve someone who's not going to freak out and either leave or snap at you when a hard conversation needs to be had. You deserve someone who could deal with conflict and realize that it's not a slight to their ego. It's just you saying, hey, this makes me uncomfortable. Let's find a solution. You guys feel like solution-oriented people. Again, it's kind of giving me Virgo vibes. It's kind of giving me Aquarius vibes as well. A little bit of Gemini, maybe even Taurus, maybe some water signs as well. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. But there is a lot of cups here, so water signs could be significant. But I just feel like you're very empathic. It's like, you're giving me Princess Diana vibes. Like, I want to give love. I want to embody love. I want to be love. You need someone who's going to do that same thing and feel the same way. And I don't think you've ever experienced that before. And so it's time for you to realize that you deserve another version of you. That's what you deserve in love. You deserve someone who's going to treat you the way that you treat everybody else. And you need to cut off every and anybody that doesn't hold up to that, because you're at a different caliber, and that's okay. It just means that they're meant for someone else that's surface level. You're not meant for surface level. But we're going to end with these oracles. I set the intention of just future and past energy. Let's see what this says. Don't make decisions based on guilt of what you think you should do. Shut up. For it's only in being true to yourself that you could be. It's like I'm psychic. Bro, come on. Does that not speak for itself? I love when that happens. Oh my God. Yeah, people have guilted you to play small. I think if anybody needs to, screenshot this as a reminder to yourself here so my hand's not in the way. I think you need to screenshot that as a reminder to yourself that you choosing yourself and you wanting the best out of life does not make you a bad person. It makes you an evolved person. Not everybody's going to vibe with that because there are a lot of wounded children in this world walking around thinking they're adults, but they're not. You need to understand that it's not your job to fix people. I'm hearing the song Brent Morgan, Fixer. I would say that that would be the song for this group. Fixers never fix themselves. You need to learn how to fix yourself because what you're looking for is what you give out. You need someone who's going to give to you what it is that you give to everybody else. It's not a bad thing for you to cut off people that never pour into you. I'm seeing you like going through your friends list, contact stuff and being like, do you actually serve me? Nope. Delete, block, bye. You don't need to give people an answer. You don't need to be like, oh, you know, I'm changing and I realize that maybe we just, you don't need to just close the damn book. They didn't care about your emotions, did they? When they were gaslighting you and they were playing hot and cold, Katy Perry in my head right now. So you don't need to give them a reason. They will figure it out because they know how they did you wrong. They've been knowing this entire time. What's the other card? Seductive qualities surround you at present. Yeah, you are like a flame. You are a flame, but it'll attract moths too. And so the sooner you learn to realize your worth, for this group specifically, I would recommend like, I have one of these myself. It's very helpful. Boss bitch playlist. Or if you're a guy, boss man playlist. Songs about like, I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad whatever. You need to learn how to own it. This group would benefit from like working on their solar plexus. I feel like a lot of people have shook your self-confidence. You need to work on that. I would create a playlist. Power by Beyonce is a great song, especially if you're a woman that's African American. It's a beautiful song, but basically it's like, they'll never take my power. I might have also referenced this song already, but These Boys Ain't Shit for my women. That's a great song. Learning to empower, being angry and realizing that it's okay to be angry. Anger is an emotion. There's a reason for that. You need to cry out how people have screwed you over. I'm hearing Coming Clean by Hilary Duff. Cry out how these people have screwed you over and cut it, end it for good. Delete, block, goodbye. You don't need to give them an exit answer. If you want new and healthy to come into your life, you need to get rid of all these people that you keep making excuses for, but they never show up for you, right? Stop showing up for them. They're not meant for this next chapter of your life. You are emotionally intelligent. You have a heart of gold. You are a bad bitch, bad boy. You deserve that same energy back. Another song being drawn to my mind. Look myself in the mirror. I said we gonna win. Knock me down 9 times, but I get up 10, bitch. I think you need to be comfortable or get comfortable with being the bad guy because it's not a bad person to have boundaries and respect and love yourself. You need someone who realizes your worth and shows up on the throne with you. Doesn't try to pull you down to meet their low vibration. You're at a high vibration. You deserve that same energy. So pile 1, I'm going to leave it at that. If you enjoyed this reading, please give it a like. It really does support my page. Subscribe if you haven't already. Take a look at the closure from your ex that's in my Pick a Card playlist. That might help you as well. If you feel called to tip, you don't have to, but I do have a virtual tip jar in my description box. And subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Remember, you're not broken for saying, fuck you, I deserve better. You do deserve better. So own that so that you can draw that in because you have been downplaying yourself for far too long. You have so much to offer. Everybody sees that but you. Stop letting people gaslight your intuition and start realizing, make a boss-ass playlist. Start pouring into yourself. Start being the boyfriend or girlfriend that you've been looking for so that you know what it looks like when it comes to your door. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. All right, what is up, pile 2? So we are covering what you deserve in love. With you choosing the rose quartz, I feel like either you guys have been single for a while or you're kind of in a headspace of like, I don't want love. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song from Hitch where it's like, now that we found love, what are we going to do with it? So maybe you've been burned a lot. Yeah, I'm hearing the song Bruised and Scarred. So it's like maybe you've been burned a lot, and I feel like you might have shut off your heart chakra. So this pile would probably benefit from some heart chakra singing bowls on YouTube. That'd be beneficial, or just some form of like guided meditation to figure out like how to reopen your heart. I almost see you being like, fuck love. Like I just kind of the vibe. It's like, Hallmark holidays, screw that. And I get it. Trust me. I totally understand this pile. But if you shut your heart off like that, then you're not going to find... Yeah, because I'm hearing the song Somebody by Reba McEntire where it's like they're looking for love, but because they've shut their heart off. They can't see it when it's right in front of them. So I'm almost worried with this pile that like you might miss out on good opportunities because you've been scorned by so many girls, boys, whatever you're into, that it's just like, no. It's almost giving me the vibe of like you've kind of entered into a masculine energy too much, where maybe like you work a lot now, you focus on like the finer things in life. It's kind of giving me Taurus energy here. Aquarius too is kind of a vibe I'm getting, where it's like, love never did me any good, so why am I going to screw with it anyway? Every time I've ever tried to open up my heart, people have just screwed me over. I don't know that I want to do that anymore. And listen, I hear you, but if you shut off your heart, then you're going to, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's the person that says, all I ever attract is cheaters, so that's all I'm going to get. Well, now you just put it into the atmosphere. You're going to get it, because whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. So this pile in particular really needs to work on their heart chakra. I understand that you've been hurt. I feel like you guys would benefit from like a rom-com binge where you could just cry it all out. Like even like maybe like a full moon where you're burning pictures of your ex under the full moon or something. You've had your heart shut off for a while. There could have been either one significant relationship that really just did you in and you're like, you know what, screw this, I'd rather be alone. Or you've just dated a lot of like, I'm hearing lemons. So it's like, that person doesn't exist. I don't care. I'm just going to focus on my money, focus on my career. I don't want to do this shit anymore. I hear you. I get you. But when you turn your heart off, you're going to continue to attract people that aren't going to pour into your heart because you don't know how to accept love. And that's kind of the problem we're dealing with right now. But that being said, I think at one point you had a really big, beautiful heart because you did choose rose quartz. It's just that I feel like you have this self-fulfilling prophecy of like, well, I've always been hurt, so am I ever going to get real love again? And so you turned it off. Like I'm seeing a light switch. It's like, nope, I'll just focus on my money. I'll focus on friends, family. And you're like, no, I don't want to be wrong again. Because it's like 3 strikes out. I'm good. Like it's bad enough I gave everybody chances. I don't want to do that shit again. I hear you. But you're kind of unintentionally attracting that because your mind is negatively impaired by love itself, if that makes sense. I'm also being drawn to my fool's gold. So again, I think people, probably pretended to be the best versions of themselves, but that mask can only last for so long, right? And so you realize really quick that like, great, people say what they are, but it usually has no backing. And so fuck this, I don't want to do it anymore. Again, I hear you, but you still have to keep your heart open. I'm seeing like a wide-eyed little child. It's like when you start to believe like, you know what, I trust myself. I know that there is love out there for me, and I'm going to have to say no to quite a bunch of people. You might be very attractive. Even if you don't think you are, you might have an attractive aura. There's something about you that's very like, I'm drawing you in. It's kind of giving me like a siren mermaid energy of like, showing my tits and like killing men kind of energy. So I think you, again, I got this with pile 1 as well, so you might have been drawn to that. But you might draw in some broken birds because it's like, this pile might actually know their worth, though. I think this pile has done the work where it's like your solar plexus is actually pretty good. But at the same time, it's like, I don't trust anymore. Why should I? Maybe I should just focus on my money. I hear you. But if you want that love, you have to believe that it's out there. Because otherwise, you're going to keep attracting the people that it is that you don't want to deal with. But let's see, what does pile 2 deserve in love? Vulnerability, for one. I think you've had a lot of people that, because I keep hearing like dodged a bullet. I think you've had a lot of people that already had their defenses up when they met you. Maybe you've heard like your exes talking about their exes being like, oh yeah, I dated this girl and she was a crazy bitch. But in reality, like if you had talked to her, it was because of him. It's kind of that vibe. Change the genders as it fits you. But you deserve someone who's coming in. I see, this is the problem. I think you have some baggage with relationships that you're not quite over, and so you're attracting people that have baggage from relationships. You need to release that baggage so that you can be vulnerable, so that you can attract somebody else that's vulnerable. With the 7 of Wands in reverse, you deserve somebody who's got an open heart, who's ready to fight for you. I'm noticing the fists with that. Who's ready to fight for you and be with you and doesn't have, like maybe you've had exes that talked about their exes a little too much and it's like, what the hell? Like, this is us, not me, you, and Katrina. You know what I mean? So you deserve someone who's going to just put their heart on a platter and be like, this is me. This is what I have to offer. This is all of me. And I love you. And that's it. You need someone who can tap into their heart space the way that, I don't know that you're necessarily doing it anymore. I think you have a lot of love to give. It's giving me Taurus vibes. When a Taurus actually trusts somebody, they'll give their all to a person, but you got to earn their trust first. So I think you've been dealing with people that didn't trust people, and so they projected it onto you. But the problem is they were kind of mirroring the same wound that you have. You don't trust people anymore. You need to learn how to tap into your vulnerability so that you can attract someone who is also in their vulnerability. This pile definitely would benefit from like a rom-com session, just crying out all this shit. You are valid in feeling like these people sold you a fallacy that was never going to come to fruition. You are valid in thinking that these people had nothing to offer you. Because I'm hearing the song, but my love is all I have to give. Without you, I don't think I can live. I feel like, again, this kind of reminds me of pile 1 a little bit. So if you're drawn to that, I wouldn't be shocked. But it's like people have told you a lot, but I think they showed their true colors, and I feel like you're a very intuitive bunch. So you were like, oh no, fuck this. And then you're like, is everybody broken? Like, do I really got to be dealing with this? Is this what the world has to offer me? Like, I feel like I'm dating in the dollar store when I meant for Gucci. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the vibe. But I think the problem that you're not really seeing, and I don't mean to call you out because I get this, y'all, and I wouldn't even be shocked if this is my pile, but you've turned your own heart off because I feel like it's been like one too many times, and you're like, you know what? Now I'm going to stay on guard, and you need to earn my love. But that's not a healthy way of looking at love either. You need to step into your vulnerability so that you can attract someone else that's going to step into their vulnerability as well. For this pile, I would say it's much sooner than you think it is because I feel like you've done a lot of the work. I feel like you love really hard with the people. You kind of give me the vibe of like the people that are in my group, I treat them all like family. Like your best friends probably get the same amount of love that your family does. Like you love hard, and I think you do know your worth. So it's like you need to come correct or don't come at all, but you still have this kind of like tinge towards love, and I get it, but you need to learn how to trust yourself. Because I think you've had a lot of people come in guns blazing, and you probably got swept up into it. Maybe you dated a few Aries where it's like burning in hot, bright, fast, but then they couldn't sustain it because they were trying to be something that they thought you wanted, but it wasn't actually. You need someone who's a slow burner. You need someone who's comfortable with being friends first, getting to know you, getting some backstory, feeling comfortable. I think you need someone that's going to prove to you that they can stand the test of time, that they're going to show up. Because I'm hearing the song, I Should Have Bought You Flowers. So it's like, I think you have a lot of exes that you might be the one that got away for a lot of exes because it was like, I think you were meant to spiritually teach them a lesson of how they kind of like fuck up a good thing, to be honest. So when you start to realize that that doesn't define you, yeah, I'm hearing Janae Aiko, Define Me. That's a really good song. You might want to look at that. But it's like not letting your past define your present moment. Because like I said, I feel like you've had people that were just so enamored by you. Like, look at all the light coming off of this person. They were enamored by your light, and they tried to be what you were, but they knew that they couldn't. And so they either, fizzled out, and then it was just like, okay, this is not... It's like what I expected versus what I got, and you buy something from like a third party. I feel like that's what you've dealt with, where it's like, oh, I'm going to try to be what I think they want instead of just being themselves. And you're like, can you just please be yourself? Because that's what I actually want. And so they all put on a front to get, it's given Beyonce vibes. Like, your worth. This pile knows their worth, but you've kind of been scorned too many times. So you're like, fuck love. It never does me any good. But here's the thing. It's going to take a while for someone of your caliber to find someone else who's done the work. Not everybody's done the work. And so when you learn how to embrace your own vulnerability and trust in yourself, trust in the boundaries that you've already worked on, that you've already created, it's going to come in faster than you expect with this Eight of Wands following. Yeah, I think right now you're more focused on finances and juggling responsibilities, and you're I'm hearing headstrong. You're very focused on the things that matter, the physical, the tangible, and you're just kind of like, maybe you're at this place in your life where you're like, if I end up alone, it is what it is. But you deserve someone who's going to make you a priority, someone who's going to take the time, that wants to actually... Yeah, because I'm hearing the song, Listen to Your Heart. You need someone who asks you the right questions. This group might benefit from someone with like air placement, someone that really likes to communicate, someone that wants to know your story, but someone that's not going to be a fast burn. You need someone that's like friends first is kind of the vibe. Someone that wants to show up for you without any ulterior motives. Because I feel with this group, you're probably like, yeah, I know I have a lot to offer. I know I'm hot. But do you see me? Do you see who I actually am? Do you love me for all of me, my faults and all? Like, will you love me when I'm wearing sweatpants and my hair's not done? Will you love me if I'm having a bad day and I'm acting out? I feel like people have loved you for, like the box, like the outside of you, but they never took the time to really get to know you. And I feel like you've got some depth. There might be some Scorpio in this pile. Again, it's general, and 1111 on the clock. So you might have been seeing that. But I feel like, yeah, and with 1111, that's like when you make a wish, it comes true. So I feel like this pile might have tried to manifest love, and then you got a bunch of broken birds, and then you're like, well, this is not what I ordered. No thanks. Yeah, because I'm hearing like, thank you next. But I also feel like that's the energy that you need to embody, where it's like, yeah, all right, I might have dated a lot of quote unquote losers, but you taught me a lot about what I want and what I don't want. So I think this pile would benefit from making a list of like, what did I not like in my past relationships, so that I make sure in future relationships they don't fit those things. So maybe, again, someone that burns really hot and bright and tells you all the things that you want to hear. You need someone who's like slow, steady, not a smooth operator, not someone who could just talk the talk, someone that really wants to get to know you, someone that's not just enamored by you the first second they meet you. And that doesn't mean that like they're not going to find you attractive or anything like that. It's just that people that burn fast and hot, they like the idea of the chase. Whereas, notice how like friendships for you are probably a lot easier. Like you blend together. I think you guys would benefit from being friends with someone you're into first, so that you could kind of feel them out a little bit better, so that you could get a better idea of what you're dealing with, and so that there's not so much on the line. Just being like, I'm open to the idea of love. I want to meet new people. But like when you meet said new person, just being like, listen, I need you to take things slow with me. I want to get to know you. I want to know about your story. And you need someone that's also interested in your story as well. I feel like you had a lot of people that just assumed who you were, but never actually got to the core of it. Again, it's like they didn't really care to know what you've been through. It wouldn't even shock me if you guys are like the rose that grew from the concrete. Like maybe you have a wild story where you've been through a lot of shit and that could have turned you ugly, but instead it's like you learned and you transmuted it and you turned it into success. I wouldn't be shocked if I have some entrepreneurs in this group, or people that focus on like therapy, psychology, stuff like that. I feel like you care deeply. And so it's like, I'm not willing to give that to just anybody, which good. That's the energy you should be in. But with this group, I feel like you've closed your heart off a little bit, because again, you've had people that have just burned hot and fast. You need someone that's like, I'm okay with you not being ready for love. I just want to get to know you. I just want to spend time with you. Let's just go for a car ride and listen to music and talk about our day. And let's just go for a hike and take pictures of the sunset. And you also would benefit from like a cheerleader, because I'm seeing like a guy taking photos of the girl with like the background looking perfect. I think you need someone who's going to be your friend. You would benefit from friends first, because you would have a solid foundation. I'm seeing like the Tower card in my mind's eye. A lot of this shit broke down because it was like they didn't see, because I'm hearing the song, I see your true colors shining through, and that's why I love you. People didn't fully see you. They just saw the packaging. They thought you were hot. They liked the achievements that you have. They like how you fend for yourself. I think these people that you've dated in the past, they wanted to be like you. And you need someone who's very comfortable in their own self. You need someone who's like, I'm already successful. I've already got my career set too. I've already figured out who I am too. I've already done the work too. I just want someone to enjoy my time with. Some slow, steady energy. A Taurus with another Taurus, kind of the vibe of that. This would be more beneficial for you. That's what you deserve. A slow, steady burn where it's like you're friends for a while. You ever see those rom-coms where it's like the person you never saw coming, where it's like, oh no, we're friends, you're crazy, and you enjoy their company so much, and then one day it's like, oh my God, what if I ever lost you? And then it clicks, and it's like you were it all along. So maybe for a select few of you, you might have a friend that's the opposite sex or the sex that you're into, and you might be sleeping on them because you don't realize it, because it's easy and you're used to chaos. You need something that's easy. Yeah, because you're a boss. Queen of Swords, you're a boss. But you've been through some shit. Yeah, because you just got these smooth operators. You need someone who's going to be fun. You need someone that's charming, but not in an arrogant type of way. And you need someone who's comfortable with you talking your shit. I feel like this group does not have a hard time with their throat chakra. Not a blocked throat chakra here. You you need someone who's going to be like, how can I help you? And then you being like, listen, I don't like when you do this. And instead of them being like, oh my God, how dare you? They be like, all right, so how do we work together to make this work? Notice how a queen does not belong with a knight. And she's looking forward because she's focused on her future, whereas he's looking to the side because he's just trying to find the next fix. You deserve someone who's like, how do we build? I think this group they're builders. They're people that are very focused on their success, both internally and externally. You need someone who isn't defined by their grief, who isn't defined. You might also benefit from someone that doesn't really fuck with substances. This might be for a select few, but you might have dealt with someone that, probably leaned on substances a little bit, and you might have had people that act out because of that. But I think you already have a solid sense of self. It's just, again, I feel like you guys need a slow burn. I think you've been burned by people that are like enamored by you, but could not keep up. And so it's kind of scorned you towards love, and I get it, but that doesn't define what's going to happen for you next. You know what I mean? Yeah, you need a king, not a knight. And look at how the king falls right under the queen. It's like, this is equal give and take balance. I think you've had a lot of people selling you a lot of dreams. This reminded me of like Adam and Eve with the bitter apple. Maybe you've even dealt with third-party situations. Take that if it resonates, but you might have been cheated on, something like that. People that gaslit you. You need someone who's willing to have healthy communication that's built on equal give and take, equal priorities. You need an adult. That's what y'all need. You need an adult because you've done the work to be the adult yourself. You need someone who's going to show up like that too. Honestly, group 2, I feel like with Ace of Cups being at the bottom of the deck, you've done a lot of the work. And I feel like this group is really a lot closer to love than you think you are. But it's a matter of clearing out that heart space and realizing that not everybody's going to treat you that way. Because notice how there's these teardrops on her wrist. It's like when you release the pain of the past, new love will find its way to you. I don't think you're going to have to go searching. I think it's going to energetically match up with you. But again, this Queen of Wands in reverse, it's like you've been bitter towards love. You got to get rid of that bitterness because you've already done most of the work. Yeah, you're at a standstill right now. 10 of Wands in reverse. It's like, ugh. If you're not, the song, if you're not in it for love, I'm out of here. You've dealt with a lot of people that are just like, they want to be what you need, but they couldn't live up to it, so they put on a facade. And so you're like, I'm sick of facades. Just be who you are. Just be you. Like, I just want to love you for you. But nope, you got to be able to be fake all the time and pretend to be what it is that I want. And they're kind of trying to fit you into a box. Like maybe you're a spiritual person and you dress hippie like me. And so they pretend to like spiritual shit. But little do they know, you also like dirt bikes, and that's something that they're really into. But because they never tried to put in the effort to get to know you, they never figured that out. They're just trying to mold to be what you need. You need someone who's going to be your friend first so that they can see all the facets of you, so that you can also see all the facets of them. You kind of give me like feral cat energy where it's like, you need to be shown. You need actions. You need it to be slow and consistent. You need someone who's going to stick around for the long haul because you heard it all before. You've heard everything that you needed to hear. You need someone who's going to just be like, all right, if you need time, then that's what we need. You need alone time because you're having a hard day? That's fine. I'm not going to take that personal. I'll talk to you when you're ready. My door is open. You need someone who's very understanding, who doesn't easily get triggered, who doesn't easily get scared. You deserve someone who's done the work that you have. I love how the king follows right after the queen. You dated a lot of knights. Change the genders as it fits for you, but you're ready compared to most people. I think you just need to do a little bit more work on that heart because I just feel like you're battle scarred from past love. But with the king following right under the queen, I think it's closer than you think it is. It's just that I don't think you trust your intuition anymore because you've dated a lot of bad apples. But that doesn't mean that the right person isn't going to come in. You just got to have a little more faith. So I'm going to end this with the oracles that you chose. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there's always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon... Bro, it's like I'm psychic. Are you kidding me? This group is closer to love than they think they are. You're still scorned from the shit that's happened to you in the past. I do not blame you. But I feel like you were meant to trigger awakenings in certain people. You were meant to make, again, I feel like I already said this. I feel like for this group, a lot of people, you're the one that got away. You're the one that a lot of people look back on, which might be why you can't get a couple of X's out of your head, because it's like, why am I still thinking back to this person? Why are they still on my mind? It's not that they're still on your mind. It's that they're thinking of you. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song because when I'm with him, I am thinking of you. I think you might even have exes that reach out to you that already have a girlfriend or flip the genders. And you're like, are you kidding me? I know you're with somebody else. But you're the one that got away because you were meant to trigger them. You were meant to show them how they screw up in their lives. You guys are much more powerful than you give yourself credit for. I mean, I think you're more evolved in terms of like, you know that you've done the work. You know you deserve more. I feel like you're just bitter towards love because you're like, every time I open my eyes and try to love again, I find another broken bird. What the hell am I doing wrong? You're not. It's just that everyone is either a lesson or a blessing. And I feel like you've dated some people that made you learn to open your heart chakra. You've dated some people that made you learn to stand in your truth and open your throat chakra. I feel like you've dated some people that made you learn how to stand up for your boundaries. They were all meant to teach you. This feels like a group that had a lot of soul contracts with a lot of exes from your past where it was like they were meant to teach you this, they were meant to teach you that. It was all divinely fated so that by the time you meet the right one, you're like a well-rounded individual who don't need no man is what I'm hearing. By the time you meet the right person, you're going to be like, I wasn't even looking. It's definitely giving me the vibe of like, you know, the cute meet cutes in rom-coms where it's like, I was reaching for the soda and it was at the top shelf and I couldn't reach it. And here comes this 6 foot tall, wonderful man and he grabs me the soda and then boom, we fall in love. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be something where I didn't see it coming. That's the vibe. You've already done so much of the work. Don't let the exes get in the way. They served a purpose. You had karmic contracts with these people so that you can learn how to stand in your own truth, learn how to be alone, learn how to love yourself. If I haven't mentioned it already, I'll try to remember to link it. You guys would benefit from my pick a card where it's closure from your ex because I feel like you think you're not over an ex or maybe even more than one, but it's actually that they pull on your energy because for them, you're the one that got away. You're not necessarily not over them. I feel like either you might know it, you might not, but I feel like this group has some psychic gifts where they can kind of intuitively feel or know when someone else is thinking about them. You have exes thinking back to you. That's what's going on. It's not that you're not over them. It's that they're not over you. Yeah, I'm hearing Not Over You by Gavin DeGraw. It was always meant to shape you into who you are today. All of the shit that you went through, it made you learn boundaries. It made you learn self-respect. It made you learn how to speak your truth, even if they don't like it too fucking bad, because you have a right? You never went cold. You never went dark. You deserve someone who's done the same work and came out the other side being as beautiful as you are. You deserve healthy, unconditional, not traumatic, karmic love. And because you've dealt with a lot of karmics, you're a little scarred. I get it. But it's not going to happen again so long as you reopen your heart and realize that you will be able to tell when a moth is drawn to your flame versus when someone's healthy. Again, you'd benefit from don't rush into a relationship, a slow, consistent burn. Let's get to know each other on a soul level. I want to know about your interests. I want to know about your childhood. I want to know about all of it before I even think about dating you. The right person, they'll be willing to take their time too. Yeah, you're an intuitive. You already know. This is nothing. I feel like this reading is just to kind of tell you what you already know. You're ready. You're ready for the one. I feel like you've already fulfilled all of your contracts. I feel like the universe will definitely be like, but are you sure? And throw you another broken bird or two. But you already have all the tools that you need. You've done all of the work because all of these karmics led you into being that strong, independent woman, man that knows their worth. You're sitting on your throne proud. You're just afraid someone might take you off the throne. They won't. You've already learned the lesson. You don't have to worry about that anymore. You've got all the skill necessary. You deserve someone who's going to take their time, understand that you need that time, but don't put your walls up. Have vulnerability, but also, have space. You don't need to be consumed by a spouse, and you will be just fine. You are closer than you think you are. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you enjoyed this reading, please leave it a like. It really does support my page. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you'd like to tip, no pressure, but I do have a virtual tip jar in my description box for all my videos. Share this with your friends if you enjoyed it. I would also recommend checking out the closure from your ex pick a card, simply because I think it's going to tell you that you actually are more over them than you think you are, but you're ready for love and it's a lot closer than you think. So again, if you enjoyed this, I really hope that you did. Let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you so much for watching. And bestie, you're a lot closer to love than you believe you are. All right, pile 3. So we're going to take a look at what you deserve in love. Now, starting right away, as I was shuffling my deck, it was not working well with me, which gives me the vibe that you don't trust yourself. You give me kind of, and don't take this the wrong way, but you kind of give me a wishy-washy energy, Sag, Pisces, not Virgo maybe, like overly analytical. I feel like you had a lot of people make you cry with this clear quartz. I feel like you've been gaslit. Not shocked. I've been seeing that across the board. But I feel like people have really kind of turned you into like a shell of a person. And so it's like, I don't really know that I can even trust love because I don't know that I can trust myself. So you deserve someone who's going to be gentle. You deserve someone who's going to understand that you've been through some shit. You could even benefit from someone who's also been through some shit. Because with this deck giving me such a hard time in the beginning, it's like, you are a more sensitive soul. You need someone who's going to be able to be sensitive with you. So maybe a water sign might be beneficial to you, or maybe you are a water sign. So like Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, definitely Cancers, because those are ride or die type of people when they're evolved. But I feel like you have shed a lot of tears over people with this clear quartz. But that's a good thing because that means you're releasing. But with the deck giving me a hard time in the beginning, I feel like you don't trust yourself. It's like, it wouldn't shock me if like you had a Venus and Gemini. It's just like, I don't know. I don't trust. I'm scared. I don't know if I could do this. So let's figure out what you deserve, shall we? Yeah, you strength in the reverse. You don't feel like you're powerful enough. I think you've been through some shit. You're exhausted. You're like, I don't have it in me to get my heart broken again. I just don't. You could definitely be an empath, definitely be someone who just gives and gives and gives to the point that, like, you're completely diminished and completed. You need someone that gives and is okay that you have off days. I feel like you've dealt with people that need you to be on 24/7. It's like, what do you want from me? You're always taking from me. You always need me. And it's like, I need a day too. I need to be alone too. But the moment that you need support or you need some alone time, they get like, oh, how dare you? And then they get triggered and then they get pissed and then they run off and you're like, what did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. They're takers and you're not a taker. You're a giver. Givers need other givers. And that's where this confusion lies. It's like, I don't know that I can trust, like, being in your energy, I'm confused. I'm like, wait, am I getting this right? Am I saying this right? Yeah, but thank God for spirit. I feel like you've been gaslit a lot because, and it's not even so much gaslighting. I just think you've triggered people because you have this innocence to you and you give, like I'm being drawn to how he's missing a leg. It's like you would give your leg for, if your best friend was like, I'm having kidney problems, I need a transplant. It's like before they're even on the list, you'd be like, I got you. Let's make sure that I'm a match. I got you. Like, it's giving loyalty. It's giving me Leo, especially with the strength card. So you could be a Leo. You could have Leo placements, maybe a Leo Venus. But you ride for people. But I don't feel like people have rode for you. I feel like they took from you. You need someone that's a ride or die. You need someone that's like your cheerleader. Yeah, I'm hearing the song, oh, I think that I found myself a cheerleader. You need someone that wants to put you on a pedestal in a healthy way. That's like, you ever see that picture? I mean, I know they're not a healthy couple, but the picture speaks volumes. Where Will Smith is like this to Jada, where it's like, here's my woman. You need someone that's like that. Proud to have you on their arm, not in an unhealthy way, but like, oh my God, this is my person. I want to make them feel amazing any way that I can. Are you having a bad day, babe? How do I make it better? How do I help you? Someone that supports your dreams, someone that, you know, when you're having an off day, they show up the way that you show up for other people. Again, I feel like you've cried a lot and it's like, why is no one here for me when I'm going through it? But I'm always there for other people. Maybe you had parents that like told you that like emotions were weakness. And so you wanted to be what it was that you wished you had. And so you've been giving it to other people, but you never get it back. You need someone that's willing to pour into you. Like, I'm being drawn to this scene from a movie. It's called Little Black Book, where she's crying in the picture. And so, yeah, she just finishes a race and she's crying because she's proud of herself and he's crying with her. You need someone that's like Pisces moon, maybe a water moon, water rising, water in the big three, water Mercury, water Venus. Water placements would definitely benefit this group. Someone that's like, in the hard days, they are there. It's giving me Notebook vibes. It's giving me like, I will not give up on you. Yeah, I'm hearing the song. I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down to my last breath. You need someone who rides for you the way that you ride. You benefit from a Leo, some water placements. You need a ride or die because that's what you are. Yeah, I'm not giving up. 8 of Cups in reverse. I feel like maybe you've had people where when times get tough, they dipped out. When times got tough, they were just like, you know what, never mind, threw you away, and you didn't even get an answer, and you're like, what's wrong with me? Nothing. They couldn't handle your level of caliber of emotional maturity. So what do you deserve? You deserve someone who's going to be open to communicating even when the times are tough. Not just liking you for what you can offer them, but what they can offer you as well. You need someone who's going to go, how can I better your life? Tell me how I can help you. So even some Virgo placements would help you with this. How can I build with you? You're having a bad day because you're sick? Let me bring you some soup. You're having a bad day because things are bad at work? I got you. Let's talk shit about your boss all day. Whatever it takes. Like, that's the vibe of this group. You need someone who's good with communication, who's willing to have tough conversations, who's willing to support your ideas, especially with this light bulb on this card. I think that you have more of an innovative mind than most people. You kind of give me the vibe of like Dolores Cannon, like ahead of their time. I think you have some kind of unique ideas, and not everybody understands you. And I feel like you probably have a couple of exes that, like, once they've lost you, then they start to understand you because they're not swept up in how great you are anymore. They're on the outside looking in, and then they're like, oh shit, oh, I didn't get it, because they weren't ride or dies like you are. You're someone that really pours into somebody, but you need to be more picky about who it is that you pour into, because I feel like you've had people that walked away when shit got hard. You need someone who's going to go twice as hard when shit gets hard, because you go twice as hard when shit gets hard. You need someone who's going to support you on your tough days. I don't think you've ever received that. I think you're there for other people's tough days, but then you probably isolate when you have your own tough days because you're like, don't want to burden people, and even when I do need help, they never really give me what it is that I need anyway. So I think you've learned to be your own support. You need someone who's going to support you the way that you support other people. This is a little more cut and dry than I expected. Yeah, I think there's been people that vulnerability is a theme in all these readings. Yeah, I think there's people that knew that you got a really good balance of divine masculine and divine feminine in you. You're really good at communication. I think, again, you have a very intellectual mind. I'm being drawn to like Albert Einstein, Elon Musk. I feel like you're a very intelligent person. I think you need someone who is intelligent as well. Someone that can brainstorm with you. Someone that sees your ideas and has an expansive mindset the way that you do. You also deserve somebody who's not intimidated by the fact that you can get in touch with your masculine energy. I think a lot of people have been intimidated by your intelligence. I think they've been intimidated by the fact that, like, yeah, because I'm hearing knock me down 9 times, but I get up 10. I think you're very strong. Yeah, I'm hearing stronger than yesterday. I think that's Britney Spears. You're strong. Even in your vulnerability, you stay strong. You stay pure of heart. And people get triggered by that because they couldn't live up to that level that you're at. So you need someone who's an emperor too. You need someone who's comfortable being all facets, being loving, but intelligent, but a hard worker. Someone who's okay realizing that not everybody fits into a box. And maybe you're meant to create a box for yourself. Maybe you're meant to be someone who creates, someone who inspires. I feel like this pile has a lot to offer the world, especially with intellect. I don't know why, but I'm being heavily drawn to intellect with this group. You deserve someone who's comfortable with vulnerability. I'm seeing like a guy that jokingly puts on a dress. I think if you're a female, you've probably dated dudes that are not comfortable with femininity. Maybe they're like, oh, that's gay, like that toxic masculinity energy. But, you know, flip the script. If you're into women, maybe it's a woman that couldn't reach her emotional depth. Maybe she thrives in her masculinity. But the point is, you need someone who's comfortable with embracing both sides. I think you like to have fun, do spontaneous things. You might be a little bit more extroverted. You need someone who's like, wherever the wind takes us, babe, I'm willing to do it. Someone that's more mutable. Again, it's like you want to watch a rom-com marathon today, babe? That sounds good. Not necessarily a yes man, but just more open to things. And then, tomorrow you're like, I want to take a road trip and we won't need a destination. And then being like, cool, wherever the wind blows us. You need someone with an open mind that's got a really strong intellect. I think you get bored easily and you like excitement. You need someone else that's kind of like daredevil-y type of energy. Someone that wants to rule the world, but still has a lot of emotional depth. Someone that wants to build and do exciting things, but can also be there on your down days. So maybe tomorrow we want to go on a trip that's, I don't know, 2 states away. We don't have a reason for it, but they're just happy to be there on the ride and they can, drive on the times you don't feel like driving. You need someone that's mutable energy. Someone that understands that it's giving Miley Cyrus Can't Be Tamed. That's the vibe of this. You don't fit into a box. You need someone else that's comfortable with you not fitting into a box. It's reminded me of this show called, I think it's called The Witch, where like, she does herbal medicine and he's a doctor. And at first they clash because he doesn't believe in that stuff. But eventually it's like our differences are what make us good together. I think you need someone, this is like an opposites attract type of vibe where it's like maybe they'll come in being a little bit more grounded than you are and you'll kind of take them out of their monotony. But then they'll kind of help you tap into your emotions and your vulnerability again because you kind of turned that off because people probably weaponized that or they took advantage of your kindness and they saw it as weakness. But you were playing chess and they were playing checkers. You need someone, I would definitely mutable energy for this pile. Someone that's okay with just going with wherever the wind takes us. That's the vibe. Yeah, I think a lot of people have made you feel trapped. They've burnt you. Yeah, 3 of Swords, heartbreak. They just didn't understand. It's giving me the vibe of all of these these entrepreneurs from the past that, again, like Dolores Cannon, she was talking about star seeds and she was getting judged. And then now she's a godsend to anybody that's spiritual. Or, David Icke, who was saying that there was bad people in the industry and then he was criticized all over the nation. And guess what? Now we got everybody coming forward. It wouldn't be shocking to me if this is a psychic pile. I feel like you have psychic foresight. Whether or not you believe in spirituality, that's pish posh. That's not the point. The point is, I feel like you're the type that it's innovative energy is a vibe. So maybe you pick your own outfits. You don't fall in with the crowd. And then 10 years later, that outfit that you chose is now popular in the mainstream. You're kind of ahead of the curve. You need someone who's comfortable with you being different. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song, I'm different. Yeah, I'm different. They need to be comfortable with that. I feel like a lot of people have been like, what the hell is wrong with you? You're weird. You're not like other people. I feel like you've dated people that are more cucky. I can't talk. See, that's the problem. I feel like you've been gaslit so much because people didn't understand you that you're probably more comfortable just doing shit on your own because it's you won't get me anyway. But you're going to find that you need another innovative mind like yourself. You need someone that doesn't see life as, oh, this is just what it is, but I want to break out of this box and start something new. Look at how in this 10 of Swords, she's not letting herself being trapped. She's screaming out, going, fuck this. This is not going to be my story. Maybe you had a hard childhood, and instead of, being a victim to it, you decided to grow, and you decided to look 10 steps ahead and be like, okay, well, how can I make lemonade out of lemons? You need someone who's comfortable with the way that you shine. You need someone who's comfortable with the fact that you are probably going to create your own reality. With this Star card in the reverse, I feel like people have been uncomfortable with the fact that, again, you have a very expansive mind. It wouldn't shock me if you have an air moon or a Virgo moon. There's a lot of signs that are popping up for this, so just take it as it resonates. This is a general reading. But with this, I think you need an intellect. You need someone that's an intellect. You need someone that's a very go with the flow. You need someone that is comfortable with you leading the way sometimes because you are a leader. Look, that literally says ruler on the card. I didn't even notice that. You're a leader. You need either someone who's a leader too, someone who's not stubborn and stuck in their ways, someone that is comfortable with going in the flow. I'm seeing road trips. I'm seeing this game me and my cousin used to play where you stop at a stoplight and then you go left or right. And then you pick one and then you go and you just see where the day takes you. You thrive on spontaneity. You need someone else that thrives on spontaneity. Yeah, I feel like you've had a lot of breakups because people just couldn't understand where you were coming from. Yeah, I feel that judgment's literal. They judged you because they couldn't get that you could be one way, but then another way in the whole time. This is giving me the vibe of like the girl that loves to dress up and wear makeup, but then also loves to go rock climbing. Like, I feel like, again, you don't fit into a box. People wanted to try to put you into a box. It just doesn't work for you. And I feel like you're stuck on some past exes. I've seen this with all the piles where it's like, why couldn't you see me for me? Why is it a bother that I don't fit into a box? You might benefit from my pick a card closure from your ex, where people just tried to make you small because they couldn't get how innovative your mind was. And so you had to let them go because it was like, I'd have to die myself down in order to be with this person. And so you're probably at this headspace where it's like, no one's ever going to understand me. But you need someone that's done the work themselves, that has a very intellectual mindset and that's open to possibility and open to new beginnings. It doesn't see life as limitation, but as, you know how they say, like, instead of thinking like the ceiling's where you stop, you break through the ceiling and now it's a next level. Like, that's kind of your mindset. It's like you do the work, you break through the ceiling, and then you're a newbie again, and then you start over again until you hit your next ceiling, rinse, wash, repeat. You're someone that continues to build and build and build. You need someone that understands that the sky isn't the limit. That's just, yeah, like that guy who broke the 4-minute mile run, and they all thought that your heart would explode. I'm being drawn to the heart there. That your heart would explode if you ever beat it under 4 minutes, but it was a mindset. And then after he broke the record, people started to break it too, because your thoughts create your reality. And I think that you're a little more tuned in than most people. You need someone that understands your innovative mind. You remind me a lot of like Albert Einstein, Elon Musk, someone that creates. It wouldn't shock me if you end up inventing something or creating something for yourself. Definitely could be an entrepreneur in this group. Yeah, I feel like people have stunted your growth because you had to play small to make them comfortable because they just didn't understand you. They didn't understand your mind. Your mind is like, it reminds me of like a Rubik's Cube. It's like, whoa, I'm trying to figure you out. But then some people, they'll look at a Rubik's Cube and they'll go, oh, this is stupid. And they'll toss it to the side because they feel dumb. I think you've triggered people and made them feel like they were dumb. Not your fault, but you need someone who's intelligent like you that can realize that just because I'm girly today doesn't mean I'm not going to be sporty tomorrow. I can be anything that I want to be. You need someone that has that same type of headspace. Yeah, I feel like people have tried to knock you down a peg because they felt like you were above them, which kind of, yeah, you've done more work than they have. But it's hurt you because you have this really big heart within you. And so you're like, what's wrong with me? Why am I broken? Why don't people understand me? It wouldn't shock me if you're the type that's like, I want to go home, but you don't know where home is. You're probably a starseed. Take that if it resonates. I feel like you're meant to come here to break the mold, to show that we're limited because we believe that we're limited, not because we actually are. You're a very innovative group. I feel like you have a lot to contribute to this world, but you've dealt with a lot of people that don't know how to tap into their own potential. And because you have such a big heart, you've played small for their benefit, but you don't need to play small anymore. You need to find someone who's like-minded. You need to find someone who sees the mold that the world has created and goes, no, fuck that. I want to burn these bridges down and create a world of my own. That's the type of energy you are. You deserve that energy back. You deserve someone that's like, I want to be in the passenger seat and I want to see what it is that you create. This doesn't trigger me. I'm inspired and now I'm going to take action too. You deserve somebody who sees your brain as magnificent and wants to follow suit and learn and be inspired by you instead of being triggered by it. That's what you deserve. So let's finish this off with the oracles that we got for your pile. Yeah, I think that the people that you've dated in the past, it's like because you love so much and because you see all the potential in the world, you've had people that like, again, they would probably try to make you feel small. And so it's like, all right, I guess I'll play small. I'll hide this part of myself. And so you hide this part of yourself. And then this part triggers them. So then you hide this part of yourself. And then before you know it, it used to be this blooming rose like this card. But now you're a bud because they can't reach you at your depth. So this to me is about not rushing into what looks good. I'm hearing like not all that glitters is gold. Letting people tell on themselves, seeing what they have to offer. Do they have an intellectual mind like you do? Do they have an open mind like you do? Listen to them when they speak. You know, if there's somebody that talks shit about other people, chances are not a very evolved human being. They're not right for you. If there's someone that's like, oh, that's stupid, chances are it's because they feel stupid. Let people tell on themselves so that you can avoid future heartbreak. Listen to hear, don't listen to respond, because people tell on themselves. Be an observer. Let them talk and don't give too much away so that you can see who they really are. Because people that are putting on a persona, they're going to get triggered by silence. They're going to get triggered by you just watching them. You need to learn how to move like a cat. You know what I mean? The cat doesn't just jump on anybody's lap. The cat will sniff you. They'll wait to see how you respond, and then they'll come to you when they're ready. That's the type of energy you need to step into to get a person that's right for you. You need someone who's not going to get triggered. And I feel like you've dealt with a lot of people that got triggered because, again, you have this innovative, very intellectual mind. You need someone, you need to see how they behave when you show these facets of yourself. And you need to get comfortable with all of these facets of yourself so that when these people come around, you don't, turn into this flower where I'm starting to close down to make you comfortable. You need to be more like these buds, these that aren't in buds anymore. Show all those, don't share too much, don't give all of it away, but don't be ashamed that you're not in a box. You know what I mean? And then the people that are triggered, they're going to tell on themselves. So let people talk. Don't do the work. Let them come to you. Yeah. Give each other some space at the moment. Don't jump into love. Don't fall into love. Let them see all the facets of you while you're figuring out all the facets of them, and then see if it makes sense logically. Usually I don't agree with logic going into love, but for this pile, because you're such an intellect, you need to use logic when it comes to this. You need to, don't get swept away in love. I think you guys are kind of like hopeless romantics a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. Same here. But for this pile, it's like maybe go on a date with somebody and then feel it out. Wait a few days and see how they respond to you not being obsessed with them. Because I hate to point it out, but we do have a society where men expect women to be obsessed with them if that's what you go with. But, just change the genders to fit whatever. But we have a lot of codependency in our society right now where, we're supposed to complete each other instead of adding to one another. And so, maybe go on a date and then, don't see them for 5 days, a week. You're not supposed to be up each other's ass 24/7. That's how you create codependency. That's not how you create real love. So giving each other space, knowing that what's meant for you will never miss you, and give them time to miss you so that they can see your worth and see 22:22 on my clock as I'm talking, and see all the facets that are you and learn to love each and every aspect of you. Don't give yourself away so freely. Wait until they've seen that you're not just this Barbie girl that dresses up or Ken doll, whatever. You are also the person that loves to go quadding. And you are also the person that likes to be alone sometimes. And you are also the person that loves to binge rom-coms, but you're also the person that likes to read a good book. Let them see all facets of you slowly with time and see that they love each and every part of you. If they're a healthy person, they're going to love you even more because it's the vibe of like never getting tired of you because you have all of these facets to you. You are like a bouquet of all different kinds of flowers, and it's like, oh my God, this red rose is beautiful. Oh my God, look at this white rose, it's beautiful. Oh my God, there's a lily. I didn't even see that lily. And oh my God, look at these little whisper flowers. Oh my God, there's so many facets to this one bouquet. You have so many different sides to you. Still let people in, but make sure they see every side of you before you really give your heart away like that, because people like to put people into a box. And I feel like you've fallen victim to this where it's like maybe they met you on a night where you were dressed up and partying, but they haven't seen the version of you that likes to read a good book and zone out for a couple of days and be alone. Maybe you're an empath and you need some introvert time. You know what I mean? People love to fit people in the box and fit them into a mold. You don't fit into a box. So let them learn to see all sides of you before you make a decision. This pile would benefit from being picky and taking things slow. And that's what you deserve. You deserve someone who's going to see every aspect of you. This gives me the vibe of like, you're going to be married and 10 years later, you're going to be like, I play the piano. And your husband or wife is going to be like, I didn't know you played the piano. There's so many layers to you that you're still going to be surprising them each and every day. So get somebody who can appreciate just how intricate and complex you really are instead of going, ooh, this triggers me because I'm not intricate and complex. You need someone who's either just as intricate as you are or someone who's very mutable and excited to be a part of your journey, excited to be a part of the ride and appreciate that you don't fit into a box at all. And that's hot. You know what I mean? That's really sexy. That's a sexy thing to be in today's society. So give yourself some credit because it's amazing. It's giving Miley Cyrus Can't Be Tamed. You are a complex creature and you deserve someone who sees that. So I'm going to leave it at this. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you feel called to, I do have a virtual tip jar down in my description box of all my videos. You don't feel obligated. Please comment down below if this resonated for you. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'd love to have you here. But baby, you are very complex and intricate and you deserve someone who enjoys each and every facet of you. So don't settle for less than you deserve because that's what you deserve. And I will catch you guys in my videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.
The Comic PM. The Comic PM.